Howdy fellas! Welcome to my first video about LEGO Marvel, and in case you were too eager to watch my videos and didn't even read the title, I'm going to be giving my most wanted sets out of the Infinity Saga line. This is similar to my Sets Ninjago Legacy should have made video, but since the Infinity Saga line is still going on, these could still be made. I think this line could still go on for a long while, and there's still a ton of potential they haven't tapped into yet. As all YouTubers say, let's just jump into it. I only have one honorable mention today. I know, you're thinking, what? Normally half of your video is the honorable mention section. But hey, I'm getting over my obsession with them, I guess. That honorable mention is the race scene from Iron Man 2. Looks like LEGO and F1 are having a pretty good relationship recently, so this is definitely possible. This is also one of the coolest scenes in Iron Man 2, and I'd really like a good minifigure of Whiplash in this scene. With that being said, since F1 and LEGO are just starting their good relationship, I'm not sure how F1 would feel about having a set that should have a feature where one of their cars gets sliced in half. Coming in at number 10, I have what would probably need to be a pretty big set, and that's Nowhere from Guardians of the Galaxy. It wouldn't have to be absolutely massive, but something at like the $150 price range could be awesome. I'm imagining something that could unfold and open up the face to see some small interior scenes like the Collector's Collection and maybe where Drax fought Ronan by that yellow goo pool. Maybe it could also have the place where Thanos fought Gamora and revealed that he has the Reality Stone in Infinity War. I think LEGO has the skill to give us a good, sturdy, detailed set, even though the face of the Nowhere skull could provide some challenges. For minifigs, I'd want to see all the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Collector, maybe the girl who shouldn't have touched the Power Stone. You done messed up, Aaron! Ronan, who'd ideally be closer to his 2014 version with the red detailing, but I understand if they need to use the 2024 version, and some Kree warriors who'd maybe come with a side build of one of their little battleships. I think this could be a great display and play set, and there are so many possibilities for the scale and type of set this could be based on who LEGO would want to target market. One of the most loved Marvel movies is The Winter Soldier, but we don't have any sets for that. I'd want to change that by giving us a set of the final battle in that movie. It could be pretty massive with the whole SHIELD/Hydra HQ, but I'd want to see at least that glass area where Cap and Bucky punch it out. I think that could be a pretty sweet $30 to $40 set, with probably the bridge and control panel standing over a big glass bowl if that's possible. I think it could be a really clean design, and I'd probably argue for using the transparent light blue instead of transparent clear just because I think it looks better. For minifigs, I'd just go with Captain America and the Winter Soldier so that the build could be focused on more, but I wouldn't be surprised if LEGO threw in a Nick Fury, Falcon, Black Widow, or Hydra agents to raise the price and then not focus on the build as much. Also from a Captain America movie, my number 8 choice is the jet from the end of Captain America: The First Avenger. Can't say LEGO would be perfectly fine having this as one of their products, considering it was supposed to, drop large booming devices on cities, but I think this would be a great model. It's a super unique shape that could definitely provide for an engaging building experience. It definitely wouldn't have to be minifig scale, but I'd want it to be big enough to give us the bare minimum of an interior with at least some details to recreate Red Skull and Cap's fight over the Tesseract in this scene. Speaking of which, this set would probably be big enough for people to complain if it only came with 2 minifigs, so it could also include a side build of that little car they drive to chase this jet on the runway. That way, minifigs could be Cap, Red Skull, Peggy, Chester Phillips, and in case you're wondering, yes, I had to look up his name.
Probably worth the Google.
And a Hydra agent or two. Another ship set could come in at number 7 with that egg ship thing from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Would this be cooler than the first Avenger jet? Probably not, but I really want an Ego minifig. We got 3 sets from Volume 2, but never got the main villain of the film. This set in particular would probably be pretty hard to build, so maybe just some setting from his planet or from the final fight would be better, but I'd want this set the most if they found a way to figure it out. It would be a super unique set in that white and transparent yellow or orange color scheme, depending on whichever LEGO would think works best, because I think it'd be fine either way. I'd also want a side build of a Sovereign drone ship to provide some conflict in the set because the Guardians don't know Ego is bad yet. For minifigs, obviously we need Ego. He's the whole reason this set is on the list. I don't think we need all the Guardians of the Galaxy, but I'd at least like Star-Lord, Drax, Mantis, and maybe Gamora because I'd want to recreate the scene where Mantis and Drax laugh at Peter. The interior shouldn't need to be too expansive, just a little couch area on the side or something like that. And we wouldn't need a Sovereign minifigure because their ships were remotely piloted. Switching it up a bit at number 6, I'd want some sort of representation of the mirror dimension from Doctor Strange. This is yet another one where it'd be hard to figure out, but if they did, it would just be so cool. There would be a lot of cool angling and glass panels or transparent clear pieces, and if they wanted to go crazy, they could do some micro builds of New York City buildings behind the panels, or maybe as stickers to show the scene this battle recreates. Maybe the center could be a NYC crosswalk with something unique to show how unique the scene was, like a half a taxi cab or something like that. For minifigs, I'd want Doctor Strange and a new ancient one for the good guys, and this would finally give us a Caecilius minifigure and maybe a goon or two of his for the bad guys. I think this could be a stellar $40 or $50 set if done right. Reaching the top half of this list, for number 5, I'd want a set of the time machine they used in Avengers Endgame. I'm realizing now that a lot of sets on this list have a lot of glass type stuff going on. That was completely a coincidence, but that's pretty interesting. I don't think this set would need to be too big, but it should at least be big enough to be like a $60 set or something. I'm not sure how they would tackle the glass things at the top, but I think they should include at least some representation of it, maybe attached to the main base through a clear Technic beam or something, and using a ton of 1x1 clear tiles. For minifigs, we wouldn't need all the Avengers in their pimp suits, but at least Captain America, Iron Man, maybe Hulk if the budget allowed for it, and I'd say Black Widow, and then Nebula so there can be some conflict for when bad Nebula returns. Also from Endgame and also Infinity War at number 4, I'd want a bigger version of the Sanctuary 2. The original set was decent, but vastly undersized, and I think this set is just begging for a $180 set like the 2024 Milano. This set with a stand and a small interior where you could even fit Big Fig Thanos could be a really good seller and would look absolutely sinister in the best way possible. I think an area that would look especially good would be that front area where they could put some sweet transparent red. I'd be interested to see if they kept with a tan color scheme or went with some more blacks and dark grays and kind of go for a Kylo Ren shuttle type of color scheme, because the thing tends to look pretty dark in the lighting in the scenes it's in. For minifigs, since it would be similar to that 2024 Milano or 2021 Benatar, it wouldn't need too many. I'd ask for Thanos and at least one representation from the Black Order, probably Ebony Maw or Corvus Glaive, and then maybe Gamora or Thor depending on the scene they want to focus on. At number 3, wow, I didn't even realize, but it's another glass type set. I put the Rainbow Bridge battle from Thor Ragnarok. Yes, we've already gotten this battle in LEGO in 2017, but this is one of my favorite scenes in all the MCU, so I'd really want to see how LEGO would recreate it today. I kind of envision this as various transparent tube pieces fitting in between clear panels, making it decently sized to fit a decent number of minifigs. It should also fit a revamped Fenris Wolf, which would ideally be a bit bigger than the 2017 version, but doesn't have to be. It would also be cool, especially if the bridge were elevated a bit, to see maybe a couple of Hela's large spikes or two rising out of the ground and looming over the bridge. The Grand Master's ship would also be a nice inclusion, but I don't think it's necessary for this set. For minifigs, we need a Ragnarok Thor, Valkyrie, Hela, Hulk, a couple Berserkers, and either Loki or Scourge. Winning silver today is an Age of Ultron final battle diorama. Even though fans seem decently happy with the Age of Ultron battle we ended up getting, I remember everyone hoping it would be a final battle scene. I think this is probably the most realistic option on this list, which is why it's so high. It's just begging to be recreated in the Marvel style diorama with the black slope pieces at the bottom. I think the best specific scene to depict would be when all of the Avengers are centered around the church thing, fighting all the Ultron drones in slow motion. That way, LEGO could do something they like to do with all of these and make the set not too big but packed with minifigs, so they could still charge a solid $90 or so for it. I don't think LEGO would give us all the Avengers in this scene, but I think we'd for sure need that new Quicksilver we've been asking for, Wanda, Captain America, Iron Man, Vision, and an Age of Ultron Thor that we didn't get in the Hydra Invasion set. Obviously, we'd need a few Ultron drones, and I'd want a new version of Ultron Prime too. I think this set would absolutely fly off the shelves and would be one of the best-selling sets of the year whenever it were to be released. And topping off this list at number 1, I have a set from the original Avengers movie, and that would be a new UCS-style helicarrier. Now, this probably shouldn't be released for at least a few years because the original one was released only a decade ago, which would be a long time, but there's been a play scale and an overpriced midi scale one since then too. Mainly, this is number 1 because I'm so upset that I missed out on the first one, and it's going for a ridiculous price nowadays. But I think fans would also appreciate a new one in the next few years too, and I'm really interested to see what they could change in modern times using new pieces and building techniques. To be fair, if it were released today, it would probably be too big for an Infinity Saga set and would just fall into the 18+ line, but it could fit into either depending on how LEGO would want to market this set. Maybe it could be released in 2027 as a celebration of the 15th anniversary of the original Avengers movie, but I should have learned by now that LEGO doesn't always try to solely focus on anniversary year sets. In conclusion, this would be an absolutely incredible remake that I would be there for day 1, at least as long as it's not crazy unaffordable. Thank you so much for watching this video and sticking with me on this list. Let me know which sets you want the Infinity Saga line to make in the next few years. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, fellas, and I will see you next time here on Brickwave. Peace out.